Sigmund Freud said something very interesting about the problem of freedom, that most people actually do not want to be free. And this is what he said: most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility. And most people are frightened of responsibility itself. So what does he actually mean by this? Well, let's kind of extrapolate it out a little bit. People crave freedom, but often shy away from what it takes to achieve it. So we have to ask the question, what does it take to actually achieve freedom here? What does it mean to be free? A deep need and desire for responsibility will grant you freedom. It's not something that you can just attain by itself. True freedom is only attained through responsibility. Irresponsibility, of course, leads to enslavement, which is the opposite. It's the antithesis of freedom, because it means relinquishing control over your life to external forces. And this is the problem that most people have, because people are in some form addicted to those forces in which we give ourselves to that make us irresponsible. Maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's food. We love to get fat and eat loads of food, gluttony. And maybe it's a comfortable 9-to-5 job. Maybe it's the weekend nightlife, when we can escape the reality we live by getting really wasted. Maybe it's addiction of some kind, maybe it's escapism, maybe it's fear, materialism, or a lack of faith in ourselves or God. It could be any of these things, right? And this is why people fear freedom. They prefer the temporary happiness of irresponsible conveniences that keep you enslaved over facing the harsh reality of self-reflection and change. It's easier to trade freedom for fleeting pleasures than to confront the uncomfortable truth that your lifestyle needs a serious overhaul if you actually want to achieve the freedom that you constantly keep dreaming of. So this is what keeps us away from our freedom. These comfortable conveniences of temporary fulfillment. And those temporary conveniences, those little things that we are addicted to, that we do, they resemble, ultimately, when it comes to our own individuality, an act of irresponsibility. We're not responsible for them. We just give ourselves away to them. Like I was saying, alcohol, drugs, gluttony, any of these forms of sin, right? These vices, we just give ourselves away to them. And they allow us to be irresponsible, and not to be disciplined, and not to be someone who has responsibility. So therefore, your desire for freedom, instead of just dreaming up of freedom all the time, be like, oh, I wish I was free, I wish I was doing all these things, or it's a fantasy in your mind. You don't know how to actually achieve it. It's just a big, grand word, Instead of freedom being perceived as that, you instead must transform that desire into responsibility. Desire for freedom needs to become a desire for responsibility. Only when this realization occurs will real change actually happen, because the urge to be responsible will compel you into taking actions of discipline, to be disciplined with your actions. This is why those who achieve real success and freedom always say that discipline equals freedom. People who are not successful won't say that, because they think everything's based on luck. Everything is just based on, oh, you got lucky, how did you do that? They don't understand that actually it's about discipline, it's about responsibility, it's about taking accountability for your actions. That actually changes your life. And this is why those who haven't achieved success or freedom often claim that successful people are just always lucky. This is why unsuccessful people buy lottery tickets, while successful people build businesses of value to create wealth. An unsuccessful person will be like, well, I can just get lucky with this lottery ticket and I'll make loads of money. But someone who is actually accountable, disciplined, and responsible will try and make a business to make money, a business of value to make money, to achieve some form of wealth. This is the difference. And the difference fundamentally lies in the individual's mindset, the absence of responsibility and discipline in one, and their presence in the other. Unsuccessful people believe luck is random, while successful people know that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. This mindset difference is that simple. And this is the difference between someone who is a free individual, someone who has attained freedom through responsibility, accountability, and discipline, and someone who doesn't, by just being a slave to certain vices that bring about convenient temporary happiness. That is the only difference fundamentally. One will be accountable, one will not. One will sell their freedom for temporary, convenient happiness, and one will actually work on things about themselves through self-improvement, through routines, through discipline, through accountability, so that they achieve actual freedom that they want to achieve. So are you tired of feeling stuck? Do you feel like you're someone who is in this kind of position where you're letting procrastination hold you back from the freedom you truly desire? Because everyone ultimately desires freedom. It's just about how we go about perceiving it and actually achieving it. If you are someone who is like this, then it is time to take control and embrace the responsibility that will lead you to true success and fulfillment. Number one is that you need to realize and discover that discipline will transform your life. Number two, you need to commit to actions that drive real change. And three, you need to break free from the chains of irresponsibility, these addictions, these bad habits, and start your journey to freedom. Now, if this is something that resonates with you guys and you want to actually break free from this cycle of procrastination, I highly recommend you book in a free one-on-one call with me, where you'll find a link in the description below. In that call, I will talk to you exactly how you are to apply techniques that are founded within psychology through different modalities of psychology that have got to do with cognitive processing, building and breaking bad habits, behavior change, habit formation psychology, how to overcome cognitive distortions, self-limiting thoughts, so that you have a more optimistic mindset, so that you actually go out and be more courageous and, self-determined within yourself in the real world, so that you can break down these procrastination cycles. If that is something you want to actually achieve and be as an individual, then book in that free one-on-one call. I can talk to you all about it and to how we can set up a coaching program from there. So if that's it, guys, thanks for watching. Comment your thoughts down below. Tell me what you think, and I will speak to you all in the next video.